Hey everybody, today we're going to talk a little bit about X's. X. You know when you have a cowboy hat, and in the cowboy hat it says like a 4X and a 2X, and what do the X's mean? What kind of X's should you get? What's like, the decent stuff? Where should you basically start at? Where are they fur felt? Where are they wool felt? Are they blends? Is it rabbit? Is it beaver? Where's, what's the system? What's it based on? Are different brands the same? Are they all the same? Why do my dress hats not have X's? Only the Western hats do. And should I pay attention to this stuff? And how high should I go? Well, we're going to talk about it. The X quality rating system on hats, Western hats. And I'm also going to dedicate this next song on a continuing series of songs that I've never played and never rehearsed. So this one I'm going to dedicate to my my best oldest buddy, TJ, who's up in California now, and this is for you, buddy. It's got a lot of hard songs and a lot of hard chords in it. It's definitely not in my range. This is all there's a disclaimer stuff before, because I know I'm going to screw this one up. So let's try it. It's called Looks Like Rain. Woke today, felt your side of bed, the covers were still warm where you've been laying. You were gone. You might not be sleeping here again. Oh, it's alright, 'cause I love you, and that's not gonna change. Run me round, make me hurt again and again and again. But I still sing love songs written in the letters of your name. Rain is gonna come. Oh, it surely looks like rain. Never awaken to the sound of street cats making love. I guess from their cries you're listening to a fight. Well, hate is the last thing they're thinking of. They're only trying to make it through the night. you down, fence you in the lines I might have drawn. It's just that I've gotten used to having you around. My landscape would be empty if you were gone. It's alright, 'cause I love you. That's not gonna change. Run around and make me hurt again and again and again. But I'll still sing you love songs written in the letters of your name. Rain's gonna come. Well, it surely looks like rain. Surely looks like rain. Looks like rain, feels like rain. Here comes the rain. Got through it, right? You gotta give me that. I'm not gonna even grade that. It's all about the heartfelt part of it. You know, the words are really nice. It's written by the late and the great Robert Hunter, who wrote pretty much all of the lyrics for the. Actually, you know what? No, that wasn't a Hunter song. That was a Bobby Weir and John Barlow song. Wow. Yeah, because Hunter recently passed away. He was the one who wrote all the amazing lyrics for all the Grateful Dead songs. But that song was written by Bobby Weir, the singer and rhythm guitarist, and another fellow, this cowboy guy, John Barlow, who wrote just a handful of songs with Bobby. So I guess that's why it's sort of unusual. It's kind of, I don't know, un-Grateful Dead-ish or something. And it's very typical of like Bob Weir kind of solo stuff, but it's definitely not a typical Dead type of song. This sounds like a love song kind of thing. Okay, so let's talk about Before I Lose Light. It's nasty. It's her, what do you call it? It's Tropical Storm Faye now. So the X's, okay, here's the deal. The X is a system that they use to measure the quality of the felt. It's only done in Western hats. Years ago, they tried it out in some dress hats. So, like, there are a few like rare Stetsons and, you know, resistol dress hats and that have X ratings in there, but it's a very short-lived thing. Like 99% of the dress hats out there don't have X's to measure their quality. It's only a cowboy hat thing. So here's the deal. The standard thing is kind of started by Stetson. The way it goes is 4X and above is 100% fur felt. You guys got that? 4X's inside here. You're going to see it right in there. It's going to say like XXXX 4X genuine fur felt, something like that, in gold. It'll be stamped like that's gold, just like that. Yeah. You'll see actually 4X's, and when there's 100 X's, there's literally, you know, 10 rows of 10. You know, the whole thing is like that, and there's a 500X, and there's just that many X's, just little tiny millions of X's printed in gold. They put the X's in there. Okay, 4X means 100% fur felt. It's rabbit. It's rabbit They can say there's a touch of beaver thrown in there, but it's like a salt shaker, that much. I don't know how much, but it's basically rabbit. 4X is. When you're going below a 4X, like a 3X or a 2X, at least this was the standard for Stetson, it's not fur felt. It's a blend. It's fur felt and wool. And then like a 3X, because that's like right below a 4. But when you're going down to the lower ones, like 2X or something, it's going to be wool usually. Maybe a blend, but usually a wool. There's no official, like, set of measures, by the United States or Geneva Council of Weights and Measurement. It's something that they just made up one day, And a 4X hat, or let's say a 20X hat from Stetson doesn't equal a 20X hat from Stetson 50 years ago, and it doesn't equal a 20X hat from a different company. It's all relative. People start with their, lowest grade fur felt at 4 and their highest grade at 100, which is generally supposed to be all beaver. Now 100X is generally all completely beaver. When you start going up from 4X, they're supposed to be adding some beaver and different fur felts in there. There's even ones that are above 100X where they go beaver and chinchilla. And I mean, they just do this stuff because they're looking for ways to make it more expensive. What can we do? What's better than all beaver? So they mix it with chinchilla or this and that. But when you start getting up into these hats like 20X and 30Xs, they max out. They feel exquisite. Even the 10X hats are exquisite. I mean, there's a difference between a 10X and a 100X. You can feel it, but when you start getting up to these $400 or $500 hats, and then you compare them to the $1,000 hats, it's like, most of it is like there's gold here or diamonds here or something. The hat feels really thin, yet really super dense and sharp. And then the finish is super velvety, like the most velvety thing you've ever felt. And it's just like tight, like you can bounce a quarter off this hat. It's thin yet strong. Very hard to explain, but the more X's, the more it gets like that. There's another finishing process. The hat becomes more beaver. There's more beaver content in there. When Stetson goes to 10, it says 10X beaver. Although some of the 10Xs don't say beaver, some do. Even in the same model, like if you could see a Shasta, take 10 off the wall. Some of them will say 10X beaver. Others will just say 10X. Generally, anything 10, 20, 30, 40 up, says beaver. It's like a 20X beaver, 30X beaver. It's just they're doing this because it's a status thing. You spend a few hundred, $1,000 or a lot of money. You want to say beaver to show your buddies because you want everybody to know there's beaver in there, or it's all beaver. You could lie about it, whatever you want to say. The hats that are made out of rabbit mostly, like a 4X or a 6X, something like that, they're generally really good working class hats. That's the real deal. That's, most people are living in this stuff. It's fur felt hats. Fur felt is what you need. Years ago they used more beaver because I guess it was cheaper or something. They were able to make more profit. These days it's expensive for them to make a economically viable hat at a good price and stuff with beaver. So they don't do it a lot. They use mostly rabbit. Now, the X thing, I would not get obsessed with it. Every company is different. Let's say you start talking about the straw X ratings, that means like nothing. It's fine. As you get finer and finer in the weave, it gets a little finer, it gets a little more flexible or something. The X's go up. But one company's 10X could be another company's 2X, or one company's 50X could be another company's 3X. There's nothing, no standards, no way to standardize it. It's basically made up by the company, and that's all it is. The straws, it's just it gets a little bit finer, but we're talking about shantung anyway. This is not a hand woven straw like Panama. This is machine woven, and it's made from something like wood fibers and paper fiber. It's like a natural material that's very high-techly woven, but it gets finer and finer and finer using very high-tech machines. It's not done by hand like Panama hats in Ecuador. So, I don't know. The X thing, they do look kind of a little classier, the texture, but I wouldn't get obsessed with X's with straws. Make sure you just buy a fur felt hat, something 4X and above. And if you want to go something really high, I would say check out the 10X, the Tycoon, we call it, or JJ hats, otherwise known as the Shasta. It's one of the hottest sellers they have right now because it's like a real nice 10x beaver, and the price is about $450. Yet we do a lot of 20% off sales, like all the time. As a 4th of July sale, a Father's Day sale, a COVID help support us sale. There's always 20% off now because this is a tough time for everybody, and we need that little push. So there's nobody in the shop shopping, for obvious reasons. So mail order needs a little push. 20% is a fantastic thing. It's like, almost $100 off on a Shasta or something. I would suggest, if you're going to go for something super expensive, before you start checking out the 100X, the Presidente, and this hat, and this $1,000 hat, check out the 10X and stuff that's around there. 10, 20X, they're exquisite. I mean, they're fantastic. I think the Shasta it's a hat you will definitely have for life. And I can't just say that, I sell these things and I'm pretty confident, You guys, basic care. Hang the thing up, keep it away from blazing hot dashboards when it's drying and stuff, and obvious stuff, and you're good. So yeah, 4X and above is fur felt. Anything below that is going to be usually a blend or all wool, and there's nothing to standardize it, guys, really. So just be wary. One company that's making real cheap stuff, like in Tijuana, they'll make a 50X because it looks really cool, Their 50X might equal a 2X for Stetson. So just take it all for a grain of salt. People can write anything they want. There is no standardization. There's no police saying, hey, this is 100% beaver. We got to check the chemical content. There's no, the Better Business Bureau, nobody does that. So what you do is you buy reputable companies and reputable stores, and you hope that you're getting what they say it is, That's all we can do. The truth is, nobody can feel a beaver hat and tell the difference between a beaver and a rabbit hat. Most of it's in the finish. So if you take a rabbit fur felt body and you buff it by hand, the hat maker can buff it with finer and finer and finer sandpaper, and just go finer and finer until it feels like the most exquisite, perfect beaver you've ever felt. Nobody would know the difference. You definitely wouldn't, because I know I won't. I've been shown that many a times. Our hat maker's really proud of the way he hand sands his hats. They start off like really thick, these hat bodies, like super thick, like as thick as like maybe 2 or 3/4, and he sands it really thin, like half that way, just so he gets that finish really smooth, and it feels like beaver, so you can't afford beaver, get a custom hat from him, and you could definitely get one that feels like it, and that'll be just as thick, as heavy. It's one of those things. There's really, there's nobody out there to show you this is beaver, this is rabbit. So this is why we buy good products like, Stetson and Resistol and big companies, because we trust them. 4X and above is fur felt. Below 4X is a wool felt blend. I'm not even gonna try this. It's like the worst, stupidest song I have. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. This whole song has been a big blooper. Cause that cat. His name is Kevin from JJ Hat Center. The Kevin Show, JJ Hat Center.